So that's probably how I grew up thinking. But I will, to your point, if Cam Ward said that, like he was on that show and said that, it would sound crazy.
It sounds crazy from him.
Why wasn't Cam Ward in the Pro Bowl?
Well,
did he reject? He had to be a choice over Shedeur.
Well, I'm just wondering how, like,
I think
I can only guess guys just rejected it.
No, I think just to be they have the 3 guys that are named, then they have 3 official alternates, and they don't have a list after that. So then I think they just call, you know,
like whoever answers.
Well, I mean, whoever they
like
pick it out of a hat.
Yeah, and so it's because they didn't.
Burrow, good. Flacco. Yeah.
They didn't go down. They didn't go down a list and get no's from everyone who would have been ahead of Shedeur.
They should. I mean, it's bad as it is. That wouldn't even be good. But that would make more sense than random.
Doesn't he have bragging rights now over his dad? Didn't he make the Pro Bowl before Deion did? Or?
Yeah. I just really want to highlight Cam Ward in this conversation. Because they're saying if Cam Ward said this would be crazy. And Shedeur Sanders has gotten so much more media hype and attention and conversations, and Cam Ward hasn't, because Cam Ward has done everything right and says all the right things and puts in all the work. And I think it's a little bit of a bummer that someone like that gets a lot less attention. And so I want to bring the attention, but it's hard to make Tennessee Titans videos because people don't really watch Tennessee Titans videos. And I want to try really, really hard to continue to cover the teams that don't get a lot of attention. And so, Titans fans, please watch the full length of the video and subscribe. When you subscribe while watching the full length of the video, views go through the roof, subscribers go through the roof, and it puts me in the best possible situation to be able to make Tennessee Titans videos so I can just keep making them, because I only have so much time in the day. I only have so much energy. I'm just one person out here trying my best, and you know, if I make Tennessee Titans videos and 100 people watch them, it's a hard thing to do, honestly. It just is. And so if you guys show up, if you watch, if you comment, and we can actually have real unbiased discussions, you know, it puts me in a position where I can just make all the Tennessee Titans videos that I want. And it's awesome. You know, it's awesome. I've been able to do this with a couple fan bases, and now it's great. I have the freedom to be like, I'm going to make a Jacksonville Jaguars video right now. The Seattle Seahawks, I struggled so hard and with over in the beginning, and then I was able to get that going, and I want to be able to do that with the Tennessee Titans. And to me, this is such a perfect example where it's like, here we are having a whole conversation about Shedeur Sanders and this, and it's just like, we actually should be emphasizing and highlighting Cam Ward right now. And the fact that, right, the fact that they would put a Shedeur Sanders in the Pro Bowl over Cam Ward is pretty insane. And I think Cam Ward was continuing to get better and better and better. And I'm excited to see what the Tennessee Titans look to do this season. I mean, everything that comes out of Cam Ward's mouth is just the right thing. And it's just so, and it's just so awesome. You know, Titans quarterback Cam Ward on OC Brian Dable, he's going to hold me to a high standard. I mean, something like that sounds so little. And it's like, I fought with so many fan bases about the word accountability and whatnot. And I made the mistake of saying that the Ravens want to make sure that they have a coach that can hold Lamar accountable. And go look up that video and go read the comments, man. People were not happy. And here you essentially have a Cam Ward who's like, bring it on, bring it on. And compare that to a Shedeur Sanders who's like, I proved to myself I'm able to dominate the league. And it's like, what? And so the humility and that Cam Ward has, and just the focus on putting in the work, I love it. I love it. You know, having a coach like Dable who is going to listen to me and give me feedback from the film room to the field and put his game plan in each and every week. That's why I'm excited to be heard by him, and it's going to get some wins for us. Like I remember when Cam Ward had a meeting with Greg Cole and asked Greg Cole, what do you see? Anything that I need to work on? Like totally hat in hand. Totally like what can I learn from you? What type of information can I gain from you? Like what do you got from me? Anything you see? That is such an incredible thing to be able to say. And Greg Cole was like taking him back. He was just like, this is the #1 overall pick. This is Cam Wharton. Like, who am I? I'm just some guy. I'm like, and it's amazing. And like this type of stuff doesn't get highlighted enough. But this does. And I find it so frustrating. And so I'm excited with Robert Saleh and Brian D. Like, I am excited for the moves that the Tennessee Titans are doing. And I'm excited what this next draft process looks like. Free agency. I cannot wait to see what Cam Ward looks like in year 2. I cannot wait because I think just the sheer fact that he was able to survive last year was really impressive. And listen, I felt the same way with Caleb Williams last year going into this year. And so just like, listen, I'm not going to say that Brian Daboll is Ben Johnson or that the Bears have the roster in place that say the Titans do. But I'm just anticipating a really big step forward, and Cam Ward has become such a... I mean, like, how many times did people really talk about Cam or the Titans for that matter? I could understand not talking about the Titans that much, unfortunately for them, because there just wasn't a lot to talk about. But like, Cam Ward was at least obviously the #1 overall pick, and he's a quarterback, and yet he was not discussed. Shedeur Sanders got way more discussion. And so I just think that the future is definitely bright for Cam Ward and the Titans right now. And I'm just reminded by even little things like this, a little segment like this, and you're just like, this is why it's so easy to go to bat for Cam Ward. And just, I went on a whole rant because I made an original clip about Shedeur and all of this, and then I just realized I was talking about humility and hard work and all this type of stuff, and I'm just like, why are we not talking about Cam Ward? And I'm like, well, like, okay, they're not talking about Cam Ward, really. So, like, you talk about Cam Ward, and I like, all right, I'm going to talk about Cam Ward. I'm going to talk about the Tennessee Titans. And listen, this video is not going to get a lot of views. I know that. I hope the Titans fans rise to the occasion, watch the full video, and, you know, subscribe and all that, because like I said, that really does make an insane difference. But I also know that full well this video could absolutely just top out at like a few hundred views, if that, especially making this video at this, you know, later in the day, in the middle of the week like this, you know, during the off season. But I want to stick to that. I want to be able to have the conversations that I think that are worth having. And all too often we don't elevate the truly positive and right stories. And when Cam first got drafted, I was like, he's the exact quarterback you want to see succeed. He's the type of story that you want to see succeed, that you want to elevate in the NFL. Like that, like those are the stories that mean so much more to me. Not Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, or I'm a huge, you know, big believer in Josh Allen. I'm like, I don't care about Josh Allen's, he's having a kid, and this, like, it's like this matters so much more. Or Shedeur Sanders' interaction with a media member after his preseason game, and it's just like, listen, in a 247 sports world, you kind of have the time and energy to kind of cover everything, I suppose. But as someone who's just me, being an individual who I just try my best to try to have the conversations that I think that are worth having. And, you know, again, trying my best to also make that overlap with the content that I think people want to see and interact with. Because that's what it's about, right? Like, you know, I want to create what you guys want to watch and want to be part of. And it's just like, it bums me that, like, sometimes you're better off just being like, let's talk about Shedeur Sanders' speeding ticket now. And I'm like, why? And actually, when we were talking about Shedeur, especially last summer, I was like, guys, I'm not really interested in this, but like, I made a video where I was like, straight up, like, do you still want me to cover this? Because I'm like, I don't care about this, but if you do, I'll still make the videos because I want to create what you guys want to watch. Like, that's what I want to do. But like, it's a bummer that I even have to like contemplate that, and I don't care about this. There's enough people that care about Cam Ward's uprising, you know, not uprising. That sounds a little bit more aggressive than it should be, but his you know, I guess uprising, maybe his, you know, his ascent, you know, then, you know, I want to keep talking about that. I want to keep doing that. So I'm looking forward to this winter, spring, and summer, and ultimately the fall, where we get to have more conversations about Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. And it's going to be more in the positive, more based on success. I really believe in what they've done here. I really believe in the coaching hires. And I believe in Cam Ward, and I'm so excited to see what Brian Daboll has in store with Cam. And I just think you're going to get such a motivated Brian Daboll, and someone who can work incredibly free as well and doesn't have the pressures of being a head coach and dealing with that and all, like, I just think he's going to be able to work with Cam, and Cam is going to be clearly incredibly receptive. And that's like, man, I don't want to put a percent on it, but like, that's a huge part of it right there. Are you willing to learn and grow? Are you willing to be receptive? I think Caleb Williams can go to the next level and be truly elite and special in the NFL. And I put it square on his shoulder. This is like after this season. I put it square on his shoulders and I said, it's up to him. It's up to him. Is he willing and receptive enough to do what needs to be done to get to that next level? It's square him. Kamard has that. He clearly has that. There is no question about it. It's now just about putting the right pieces and the right coaches around him for that to be able to take place. And I think the Titans are taking those steps right now. Might be a little bit slower than you would have wanted, but I still think it's moving in the positive direction. So I find that exciting, but those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans? Both the moves that they're making right now with the hirings, as well as, you know, his personality in comparison to maybe, shouldn't say personality, but his approach, his mentality, his sound bites compared to a Shedeur. Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately let's just have some fun, and please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. It's something that we're really excited to be a part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.